Hello again. A court in South Korea has ordered the release from custody of the impeached President Yoon Suk-Yeol, although he won't actually be freed until prosecutors have decided whether or not to appeal against the ruling. Now, supporters of the impeached president have been gathering outside the detention center where Mr. Yoon has been held. He's still facing charges in the country's constitutional court over his failed attempt to impose martial law back in January. Well, I've been discussing the latest developments with Nemo Kim. She's a journalist in Seoul, and she's got more on the court order to release President Yoon.
The decision to revoke his detention today means that he should be released any time now. His supporters are waiting by the detention center, chanting and singing very hopeful sounding songs. And the decision from the court today, although has raised a lot of questions about its possible impact on his upcoming criminal trial, as well as the final stages of his impeachment trial. The court ruled that the insurrection charge is outside the jurisdiction of the CIO, the Corruption Investigation Office for high-ranking officials. And this casts doubt on the whole legality of his arrest and also raises concerns about whether evidence collected by that agency should be considered inadmissible. And this reinforces the claim from his legal team, who's been saying that the CIO overstepped its legal authority. And with this criminal trial beginning in a couple of weeks, both sides are expected to debate whether the CIO's evidence should be thrown out or not. His supporters, including ruling party lawmaker Chu Jin-woo, they say there is no reason for the prosecution to appeal today's decision just to delay his release. The anti-Yoon faction, namely the Democratic Party and those who believe President Yoon should be punished for what he did back in December, they are visibly unsettled by today's ruling, with several opposition lawmakers rushing to state that this will not and should not impact the impeachment trial. The verdict is expected to come out sometime in the next few days, nor the criminal trial. But the ruling party insists that the decision has major implications for both trials.
And what's interesting is that actually there does seem to be quite a lot of support for Mr. Yoon, doesn't there? And the country is actually quite divided, isn't it?
Yes, that's right. In my many years of covering South Korea, I've never felt this atmosphere of divisiveness. There are pro and anti-Yoon protests continuing nationwide. And having observed both sides firsthand for several weeks now, I would say with the naked eye, the pro-Yoon demonstrations are visibly larger. And you could say it's a lot more emotionally charged for them because the person they support is detained, basically. And that, I think, brings out the intensity of their emotions. Now, the anti-Yoon side also argues that martial law disrupted South Korean society, caused economic hardships for many people, and he should be punished for what he did. And also, some of the anti-Yoon people, they say that he should have tried to pursue bipartisan cooperation. They argue that declaring martial law just because he failed to achieve it makes no sense.